IPCC report is a how-to guide to defuse the climate time bomb, but it will take a quantum leap in climate action.
It's a stunning dose of reality today, the latest facts on our warming planet. The United Nations Climate Panel warning that the world is off track to meet the goals of the Paris Climate Agreement, and we could be at the point of no return in less than 10 years. Well, we welcome Dr. Jason Naylor, a meteorology professor with UofL, joining us here tonight. He also teaches a storm chasing class, and I'm sure you've seen a lot of weather, but let's talk about Louisville's weather changes that we've all noticed. Bursts of winter instead of the consistency long winter. What else could you point to keep an eye on? Would it be the Ohio River around here, or these windstorms we've had, things that are unusual?
It does feel like things have gotten a bit windier, but there have been some studies that have shown that it really hasn't changed in the amount of wind that we've been receiving across the U.S. But as far as climate change is concerned, some of the big changes that we can see related to severe weather, so an expansion of the tornado season. The relationship between climate change and tornadoes is kind of rough right now. There's not really any evidence that suggests that climate change will make more tornadoes or more violent tornadoes, but it does shift the season. So we saw that in December 2021 with the Dawson Springs and Mayfield tornado. So in the southeast U.S. and other places in the United States, we'll start to see the risk of tornadoes expand into the winter.
Well, we know that this report today says the Earth is about 10 years away from the critical point, but we can still make changes. Do you think that's possible, in your opinion?
It's possible. You know, the report that was released today is very similar to the reports that have been released over the last 10 or 15 years. They've all been saying the same thing. We're warmer now than we've been in the last several thousand years. We are responsible for that. The human activity is what's causing the warming, and we need to make changes or it's going to get worse. And the longer we wait, the more drastic those interventions need to be. So now we are getting close to a tipping point, and we need to make drastic changes, not only reducing the amount of greenhouse gases that we emit, but drastically cutting them to severe levels. You know, in the next 10 years or so, we need to cut our greenhouse gas emissions probably to the levels that we used to have in the 1970s or 80s.
Oh.
To get us ready for the next 5 years and how to live with these extreme changes, what are some of the things you would suggest, since you've studied the extreme out there and you're seeing the changes here in Louisville?
The things that we'll probably see, in general, Kentucky and the southeast U.S. is not quite as bad as other places in the world as far as the climate change that we've experienced so far and what we're expected to see in the near future in the next couple decades. We don't see the wildfires and the droughts and the increased, you know, hurricane activity and other aspects like that. What we're typically seeing is, one is more rain, and that rainfall tends to get clumped into fewer rainy days. So more flash flooding events, bigger events, possibly like what we saw in eastern Kentucky over the summer are these big flash flooding events. We'll probably see longer heat waves, and that'll be exacerbated in Louisville because of our urban heat island. So that'll make the days hotter, the nights hotter, and those nighttime temperatures are really when you start to see issues with fatalities and injuries due to heat, people not being able to cool off at night. So that type of stuff will become more common.
All right.
We said it was a sobering report, and now we bring it right here to home.
Yeah, lots to think about there. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Naylor, for coming in. We appreciate your time, certainly, here.